If you go to Madrid, and it must be understood as well that Spain is one of the biggest art cultures anywhere in the world. Three of the biggest masters of the 20th century, that being Salvador Dali, Pablo Picasso, and Joan Miró, were three of the big masters of the 20th century, all came from Spain. That's in the top handful of artists of the whole 20th century. So that's a rich culture. But then you go back to Gaudí and Goya and Velázquez and El Greco, all these big masters of the past. They were also Spanish, and so you've got this rich artistic culture in Spain. So the Prado Museum is in Madrid, and you should, it's basically the collection of the Spanish royal family throughout the years, so that's something worthwhile seeing. Not worthwhile, absolute must when you're in Spain. In fact, make sure you make your way to Madrid. Don't just hang in Barcelona, which is also a fantastic art capital. It has the Picasso Museum, the Miró Foundation, and just up the road, the Dali Museum in Figueres in Spain. I've been there like 6 times as well. I love it. But in the Prado, you'll see the Velázquez collection, Ribera, El Greco, Goya, Titian, Rubens, Caravaggio, Veronese as well, one of those fantastic Italian masters, and Albrecht Dürer. So there's some of the highlights in the Prado. There's also number 9 on the list right there, the British Museum. Now this is English artistic loot, or English artistic booty, you might say, taken from the entire, all of the colonies, the English colonies over the British Empire that spanned the last 300 years. It is one of the greatest collections on earth. If it was only the works of the Elgin marbles, and if you go there you'll know what I'm talking about, there are many rooms. There's rooms actually devoted to these fantastic marbles. Lord Elgin actually put together this collection of marbles from Phidias, who was a sculptor in classical Greece. So these just beautifully sculpted marbles from literally 2,500 years ago, very worthwhile seeing. Also the Rosetta Stone, which gives us the understanding of Egyptian culture because of hieroglyphics. It was the first time that there was actually a translation about 2,000 years ago of the hieroglyphics to Greek, and of course then that could be translated into other languages as well. So we have an understanding of Egyptian hieroglyphics because of the Rosetta Stone. That is actually in the British Museum as well, and of course that's in London. I didn't even mention where it was, but the Egyptian collection is vast. The Roman collection would wow Caesar, in fact, so it's a just wonderful museum. That's the British Museum. I've been there in 2002, 2005, 2008. I'll go there again. I'll get more understanding every time I go, and so will you when you go into any of these museums, because you might get museum overload if you go for the first time. It's worth going back a second, a third, a fourth time to actually understand a bit more about the collection, get a bit of an understanding of where art fits into culture and where it fits into history as well. And then there's the Kunsthistoriques, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's from Vienna. That's in Vienna. I went there once, and it was in 2002. This is the greatest museum in Central Europe. And I guess you could say I was wowed by the fact that all the wonderful Baroque era of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. I mean, they're the works that have been put into the museum there. Vienna, classic Vienna, through that period of the neoclassical era. And it just, we're talking the 1700s, early 1800s. What a fantastic empire they had, and they also are very big art collectors, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So the Habsburgs, they're home over there. So this is one of the greatest collections for that. So these are the 10 museums you must go see. I labelled in the other episodes: the Louvre, the Uffizi, the Vatican Museums in Rome or in Vatican City, the National Gallery over in London, the Metropolitan Museum in New York City, the Hermitage, the State Hermitage in Russia. That's in St. Petersburg, Russia. The Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, of course, with the Dutch masterworks. The Prado in Madrid with the Spanish collections. The British Museum, of course, in London, England, with all of the artistic loot of the British Empire over the last 300 years. And Kunsthistoriques in over in Vienna. I hope you're enjoying the episodes of BlankCanvasTV.com. I hope that gives you the 10 big art museums you ought to go and see, historical art museums at least, in the art world right there. Tune into another episode of blankcanvastv.com. On another episode, I've had a lot of questions to actually answer which are the 10 biggest contemporary art museums you could see anywhere in the world. So we'll answer that on another episode. I'm Andre Knott. We're changing the way you see and experience art. Catch you on another episode. Check around the website. See a few more of the episodes we've got going. See you later.